Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we will study about the mechanism of breathing. So as we know, the breathing involves the two stages, that is the inspiration and the expiration. Inspiration means the atmospheric air is drawn in, while in expiration the alveolar air is released out. The movement of air into and out of the lungs is carried out by the pressure gradient between the lung and the atmosphere. In the inspiration process to occur, if the pressure within the lungs, that is the intrapulmonary pressure, is less than the atmospheric pressure, there is a negative pressure in the lungs with respect to the atmosphere. It means, let me explain this thing. In the case of inspiration, the atmospheric air, it means lungs pressure and the is less as compared to the atmospheric pressure. This is more. As we know, in the pressure gradient, the air goes from the high to the low. From this process, the atmospheric air goes into the lungs. So because of the lung have the less pressure, it leads to the negative pressure built up within the lungs, and it is with the respect of the atmospheric pressure. Similarly, the expiration occur when the intrapulmonary pressure is higher than the atmospheric pressure. The diaphragm and the specialized set of muscle, that is the external and the internal intercostal muscle between the ribs, help in generation of such gradient. This is very important, that the gradient, the pressure required for this thing to occur is generated by the help of the ribs and the external and the internal intercostal muscles. The inspiration is initiated by the contraction of diaphragm, which increases the thoracic chamber volume in the anterior posterior axis. Okay, so here it is saying that in the terms of inspiration, what occurs, it will leads to increase in the volume of chamber. Okay, it means the chamber volume is increasing. Okay, in which direction? It is in the anterior posterior direction. Okay, the contraction of the external intercostal muscle lift up the rib and the sternum, causing the increase in the volume of the thoracic chamber in the dorsoventral direction. How this happen? Because in this process, the muscles like external intercostal muscles help in lifting up the rib cage. Also, the sternum will cause what? The increase in the volume of the thoracic chamber in the dorsoventral direction. Okay, so with the help of sternum and the rib, the muscles, it will leads to increase in the volume of the chamber. The overall increase in the thoracic volume causes a similar increase in the pulmonary volume. As we know that the thoracic volume is positively connected to the pulmonary volume. So increase in the thoracic volume will leads to the increase in the pulmonary volume. The increase in the pulmonary volume decreases the intrapulmonary pressure. Okay, so as we know that volume increases, the pressure will decreases to less than the atmospheric pressure. So the pressure will go down than the atmospheric pressure, which forces the air to go air from the outside to go into the lungs. So the process of inspiration occur by this thing. Okay, so from this thing we have understood that the external intercostal muscle, that is and that will lift up the ribs first. Also the sternum will cause the dorsoventral increase in the thoracic chamber volume, these two things will leads to the increase in the thoracic volume, also the pulmonary volume. So by increasing these things will leads to the increase in the inspiration process, because the increase in the volume will leads to the decrease in the pulmonary pressure, and the decrease in the pulmonary pressure will leads to the air to come inside into the lungs. Why? Because the air will go by the process of the diffusion from the high to the low. The relaxation of the diaphragm and the intercostal muscle return the diaphragm and the sternum to the normal position and reduces the thoracic volume, thereby the pulmonary volume. Okay, so in the relaxation after the inspiration process, in the relaxation mode, what happened? The diaphragm will go down and it will be flattened. Also, the intercostal muscles return the diaphragm and the sternum to the normal position and reduces the thoracic volume and thereby the pulmonary volume, and the increase in volume will be in normal position now. This leads to the increase in the intrapulmonary pressure. Okay, as we know that the volume goes down, the pressure will be increases to slightly above the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so now the atmosphere the air inside is have the high pressure, which causes the expulsion of the air to go out. The process is known as the expiration. I think you have understood. We have the ability to increase the strength of the inspiration and expiration with the help of the additional muscle in the abdomen. On an average, if we talk about a healthy human, be it 12 to 16 times per minute. The volume of air involved in breathing movement can be estimated by using an instrument that is known as the spirometer. So spirometer is used to estimate the breathing movement, which helps in the clinical assessment of the pulmonary function. I think you have understood this. So let's see the mechanism of breathing in this diagram. As we breathe in, air goes into this cavity. Then the rib and sternum goes raised. Okay, and the rib cage is now in outside mode. The diaphragm will be contracted and will become the dome shaped. The volume of the thoracic cavity increases. This is the process when the inspiration occur. When the expiration occur, what happened? The rib and sternum will return to its original. It is not now in raised position. It is in the arrow is downward. It means it returned to a normal position. Here it is upward. It means it is raised. The volume of thoracic is decreased. Okay, so volume is now decreased, leads to increase in the pressure. The diaphragm relaxed and the arc goes upward. Sorry, here there is mistake. We said it is inspiration. It means it is in flat shape as compared to this. Here it is dome shaped. I am very sorry for that. So this is the dome shaped structure with the arc upward. I think you have understood this mechanism of breathing. In the next video, we will talk about the respiratory volume and the capacity. Thank you for watching.